Hello, welcome to Hope Gardens and Homestead. It is cold outside. We're supposed to be getting ice tonight, so I don't like that. I do not like the cold. I've said that before. I like the heat. But my garden is very bare. There's very little growing in my garden. I do have a little bit, but not very much. I'm very grateful for my hoop tunnels that I have over my beds, so that in my raised beds, there are quite a bit of greens that do grow in there. But can I eat from my garden during the winter? I mean, I don't have beans growing out in my garden right now. I don't have potatoes growing out in my garden right now. No sweet potatoes. I have no squash growing, no zucchini growing in my garden right now. So can I eat from my garden during the winter? Yes, I can. And I'm going to show you how I do that. Okay, first off would be my freezer. I've got squash, okra, breaded squash, different types of squash for soups. The same here, different types of squashes. Down here, I have got bell peppers and other peppers. In fact, up inside here somewhere, there's some peppers. I see some right there. And then here, I've got the squash. You know I got a lot of squash. Now this is my working pantry. Now up at the top are boxes, and it's things that I don't use that much, but notice on them that they, except for, well, no, even that one. I was going to say except for the dole, but even that one says it is non-GMO. Non-GMO, that is something that we look for in all of our stuff, but this right here all comes from my garden. Okay, not that. These are my spices and herbs. And when you, see, I look for these at garage sales and thrift stores, and I've saved all my old spice and herb bottles, and I will fill them back up with mine that I grow. Same with the garlic. That's my garlic powder. That's my onion powder. Now there are some things, of course, that I'm not growing, like I don't grow caraway and I don't grow fenugreek, curry powder. There are some things that I don't grow, but I buy in bulk, and that's one of the secrets to saving money. These are all different things that are mine. Down here, from my garden, and some things that aren't. And then down on the very bottom are flowers and sugar, but again, that's an organic sugar. My tortilla flour, my cornmeal, different things, like a lot of cooking, baking stuff. And then over here, again, things from my garden. Now these are different ciders. I mean vinegars. I love vinegars in cooking and preserving. And although I do make some, I also buy quite a bit. The whole thing is I know that if I needed to make it, I could. Just like I've made wine in the past, because if I want to make wine, I know that I can, because I've done it successfully already. And the apple cider vinegar that I make is for my animals. I use a lot of apple cider vinegar, especially with my chickens. You know, all my animals get apple cider vinegar just like we do. And so I use a lot of it. So making that is just the best thing to do. Then carry on with stuff that I've canned from my garden. Now this, I did a video on making vanilla extract. This is orange extract, and it is the same thing. I shredded, maybe I'll show you the little gadget that I used to just take strips off of the orange. I did that on 2 of them, and then I filled up the jar with vodka. You'll leave it just like before, 4 to 6 weeks. Shake it once a day or so, and you've got orange extract. You know, you can make that orange. You can make extract with just about anything. You can make it with, of course, lemons. You can make it with grapefruit. You can make it with coconut. You can even make it with coffee. You can make extracts out of just about everything. Now this is where I have all my seeds and nuts right here. And then more of my canned goods from my garden. And then on this shelf here is where I've got a lot of grains and beans, dried beans. And that goes back 3 rows of dried beans. Down here are my wheat berries, red and white wheat berries, my spelt, my rye. You know, the different types of berries that I buy for grinding and making flour. And then I have some other things, but that are not, of course, made by me, but they are all organic. And you'll see on them that they say non-GMO. Non-GMO. That's what I look for. And if you can't find it that says non-GMO, you at least get organic. Non-GMO popcorn, Orville Redenbacher. Now here is where I have a lot of my dried goods, things that I am using on a regular basis. Most of it a daily basis, but all of it a regular basis. This is some of the orange salt. This is the lemon salt, and I'm telling you, those are really good in your teas. I don't know if you're a herbal tea drinker like I am, but they're really, really good in those. And I have some dried fruits, mushrooms, and of course my greens. Lots and lots of greens. Potatoes, have them done several different ways. My dried okra right there. So this is in the kitchen where I use things on a regular basis. And now in here are miscellaneous supplies. I've got several of these 48-hour emergency supplies, just in case, and you never know. And now in these, they're all the same thing. They're all food that will last for 25 years. Because you never know, you need to be prepared. Still have fingerling potatoes and some peach honey and other potatoes and some of that peach salsa that I made. Pintos, wild cherry plum, wild grape, more wild grape. And then I have just some other staples up here that we like to keep up with so that we know that we have it. Chicken stock for when I run out, and some more peppers. Now, I have stuff under here too. These are a lot of the dried goods that I've done. And these are just boxes full of rice, dried beans, and things like that. So you can see that in preserving, whether it's freezing, canning, dehydrating, you can, or even fermenting. That's something I didn't show. I do ferment quite a bit. But even with doing all that, you can eat from your garden all through the winter. Now, will you have to supplement here and there? Sure you do. And I showed you that I have other things other than just from my garden. Don't want you to think that I'm saying that that's all I exclusively eat is from my garden. Now, summertime, you bet, that's basically all we eat is from our garden. But you can't do that in the fall and winter time. So I'm just like everybody else. I have to go to the grocery store now and then. But I don't spend very much at the grocery store. And we are finding the more we're getting into the gardening, I mean, year after year, we're spending less and less and less at the grocery store. And looking that, everybody watching this video, when it comes springtime, you're ready to get out into the yard and start your garden. And then this next year, you can be eating from your garden. Now, of course, if you don't have one already, you're going to be starting slow, and you're not going to do, you know, the big elaborate thing that we have now, because we didn't start with that. We started with a raised bed and went from there in this garden. Now, we have gardened before we moved here in different homes that we've had, but here in this, we have the largest garden we've ever had here. I will say that. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. That's my maroon-vested conjure saying hello. He's actually saying, get me out of this cage, was what he's saying. So I think that I'm going to let you go at that, and I'm going to get him out of the cage and play with him for a little while, because I sure don't want to go outside. It is cold out there. So thank you for joining me. If you haven't subscribed already, please do, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.